Guys, and welcome to another video. I just got to go out, do a few things. I thought you'd come along for the ride. The other day at work, you know, you see it a lot anyway, especially during sort of rush hour and that, where you wait for your lights to change. They change and the traffic from the other lights still keep coming through. Usually get one, maybe two at most cars come through. That's so obvious. I've gone through a red light and that. The other day that was like 3 or 4 people came through, and even after I'd moved off, another one came through. You know, at least 3 or 4 in total went through. I'll probably put together a compilation of stupid drivers or something like that, because I've probably got a few that I haven't been in videos. If I've been making a video at the time, they usually get put into a video, so some of them you'll probably have seen before, or some of you might not have done, because you might not have watched them videos, but I'll put them in and then put in all the ones that I haven't put in as well. It'll take a while to make though. I haven't even really started. I did at one point, plus I've lost quite a bit of that footage because that's when my laptop broke, so I thought, right, I better start moving some of these files over to my external hard drive just in case the laptop do fuck up. And funny enough, it just fuck up while I was moving those files over. Luckily some of them got moved over, so hopefully I'll get some footage out of that, but yeah, I must have lost a fair bit. These things are so bumpy, man. People just don't even think about whether bikes and stuff are coming up on the outside, man. They don't give a shit. Well, in that they don't give a shit, that's exactly what I said, you know, they just don't think of it. Even if they are taught to in lessons and tests, they still wouldn't. Well, some might do, but most wouldn't. Most people always forget the things they're taught on their lessons and tests and get bad habits anyway, but that's why we have to look out for them, you know. That's why we have to be riding on the defensive and being careful when there's a lot of traffic about, because 90% of the time, 90-odd% of the time probably, motorcycle accidents are caused by idiots on the road. Of course, we can't forget that we're not always totally out of the blame. Can't think of my words properly, so we'll go with it. Sometimes we are at fault and we cause the accident and we cause the accidents, or are partially to blame for. So you've got to look out for things like that as well, man. People decide to indicate and slow down late to turn into junctions on the main road, and cars that are driving up their ass too close to be ready for it and have to slam their brakes on and shit. Be careful of speed camera. I don't want to lose my license just after getting it. See, look at this car deciding to turn right at the last second. Even your big Merc ain't quick enough to get away from my mean 125. He did accelerate quite a bit then. I was surprised I kept up with him, to be honest. Well, this ain't too bad, this bike, man. That's pretty good, really. You got to remember, it's got a higher gear in now than it did stock, so I've since changed that front one again. That's put it back the other way and made it slightly higher than stock. Not a lot, but only about 2 to 4%. It's always been fairly nippy. It's got a decent amount of torque for the lower powered bikes, because even for 125s most bikes are quite low powered, like 11 brake horsepower, 8 newton meters of torque or whatever it is. Whereas the sports bikes have about 15 brake horsepower and probably about 11 newton meters of torque or something like that. I don't see why they don't do the same for even the nakeds and stuff, because there's not a lot more power and it gives you that extra top speed. I just got quite far with my petrol switch off. That's quite rare that I forget to put that on these days, but it's usually after being out for a bit and then get back on the bike. But you notice, because it just starts to feel like it's losing a bit of power. Jump! I came off the seat quite a bit, huh? That's pretty cool. Fun. Nice, good. I could have fitted on the end, man. Stopping like that was a bit silly. Leave my indicator on was a bit silly. Trying to filter through this would be a bit silly, because this is a thin ass road, man. Just can't fit. If there's any cars coming the other way, it's just no point at all. And the red lights are on, it's worth trying to get up a bit. Hi. Go kids. Quite a rough area as well this is, so it's so it's nice to see some kids being nice, but not being little pricks. Trust me, I know, man. I didn't grow up there, but that's where my dad's from, and after splitting up with my mum, he moved back in that area. I lived there for a little while, but that's when I was a toddler, man. Well, my brother grew up there, so I was there quite a lot. And he was a little fucker at times when he was a kid, and some of his mates, man, that was just so funny, man. Shit they used to get up to and do, man. Right little fuckers. Good old fun, man. Get them revs up a bit. Clean them cylinders out. Clean out the cobwebs. See, this is a proper road, man, nice and wide. Can filter properly on air, but now there's left traffic, but it's still worth doing. Luckily there's not been too many numbnuts on the road today, just the one or two slight idiots who are not thinking things through and waiting for traffic to clear to see if anything's coming their way and shit like that. Standard shit. We can go round, you know. What the fuck, man? You know you can't go round, you got a steering wheel. Oh mate, some people. I'm sure clutchless shifting is smoother than shifting with the clutch. And I do try and do it smoothly when easing off the clutch and all that sort of thing. Gotta go grab a couple of things and I'll be back, and then I'll end the video probably. I've got to now get this bag on me back. That's full to the brim of shit. You can see it's bursting, man. I've got all sorts of crap in there to get my drugs. That's quite a big bag, man. A load of food things and stuff, just some bread and milk and shit, and quite a lot of other shit. It's starting to become a pain in the ass. Yeah, that's bursting, man. It's got to be a pain in the ass putting that on my back. Skills. Oh, that cloud looked nice. What I'd like you to do is go round the cone. Nicely done. I pass and I get my licence. Sweet. Time to go out and play some video games for a bit. Fuck it. Only because I've got a new game to do. Project Cars 2. Bit of a controversial one, that one. In a way, a lot of people don't like it because a lot of people moaned about the first one, even though the first one was brilliant too. I loved that, man. That was awkward with the controller, but you had to really tweak the main settings and the car settings to make it work better with the controller. Tune it to make the sensitivity of the steering lower and the throttle and brakes a bit lower as well. But awesome game. Would be super awesome with a steering wheel, but they're so expensive. I've got an old one, but arseholes didn't make them compatible with the PS4, did they? Got a day early as usual, which is nice, because I'll be at hospital most of the day tomorrow, so I won't be able to play it so much. I've played it a little bit so far, not loads. Don't on that bitch. That's because I ain't got L plates, stupid red L things. I said that to my nephew as well, for I said, well, them stupid red L things. So having a bit of bant. Anyway, that's been a fun little ride, just running around doing a few things. Thanks for watching. I'm pinned between two people carriers, or vans as the Americans would call them. So don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.
Compadre, black and white and ivory, and black ebony. They can't step to me, weaponry is heavenly. They can't see us in the 313 vicinity. Hey yo, M, ha, ha. I come in like, ha, I'm ill like, nah. And y'all don't wanna see me cause I'm ill with the skill.